So here's the thing. I have a weird taste in everything including video games. So if you want to call me a psycho, do it. I don't care. But I'll tell ya, Resident Evil 0 is a damn good game. For some reason everyone says it's not even worth playing unless you're a hardcore fan. So I'm here to change your mind, kinda, because the game is fun. Characters are cool, dialogues are cheesy, puzzles, zombies and hunters are there. I really like the game and I replayed it recently on hard difficulty, and it turns out even better than I would think. And I wanted to give this game more love and recognition because it totally deserves it. As far as I know, Resident Evil Remake and Resident Evil 0 were made at the same time, but it seems like those dev teams were like a weird neighbors, who eventually make an eye contact but never talk to each other. I love that every game in the series brings something new to the table. But let's be honest here, not making the item box was a big fucking mistake. Yeah, it's really cool that you don't need to go back to your save room, and instead you can just drop your garbage on the floor. But that means you leave it right there, and if you'll need it later, well, you will need to go back all the way. That fucking hookshot, man, it's always so far away. Oh, and by the way, there is an item limit in every room, so you physically can't put everything in one place, which sucks big time. I really feel that dropping items could be a good thing in accompany to regular item boxes. I know, old school fans will say that RE games are all about inventory management and backtracking, but hear me out. When you drop an item on the floor, there is a high chance that it will be hidden behind random shit. And with fixed camera angles, you'll need to remember its exact location if you don't want to lose it forever. Man, why they didn't just make an item box? As you probably know, they decided to make two playable characters at the same time. Not like in your critically acclaimed Resident Evil 1 and 2, where you had a great replayability with different scenarios and some twists and turns. It kind of feels like devs wanted to make a co-op game but flushed that idea to the toilet midway. And where one character is much better in every aspect, the other is just a walk-in storage box. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I like Rebecca. She's cute, smart, and says some corny shit in this game.
Wait, you're under arrest. I could shoot, you know.
But there's no point in playing as her because she has less HP, can't push some objects, and she can't even play a piano. Also, she definitely will waste your bullets and get hit a lot, since AI is pretty damn simple. But on the other hand, we have a real Giga Chad character who has more HP, more damage, edgy tribal tattoo like George Clooney from Dusk Till Dawn, and he probably didn't kill 23 people.
23 people.
The one and only boss of this mansion, Billy Cohen.
Been fantasizing about me, have you?
Like I said, there's no point in bringing Rebecca with you while you explore the game, except when you need her to solve the puzzle or make some herbs. Yeah, men in Resident Evil games are dumb. For some reason, Billy can't mix herbs, Chris can solve the first grader's text to make a chemical, and Barry takes ages to realize that red shit on the floor is not a Tabasco sauce. And this list goes on, but you get my point. With that said, I still love the game. It still has all the good things RE Remake has. Except item boxes, yeah. The first location of the game is really good. You got introduced to main characters, their goals, personalities, and you meet the guy from Final Fantasy who likes to sing, I guess?
Who is that guy?
Terrain really feels claustrophobic and dangerous, especially when you walk on a fucking roof in the rain and connecting sparkling cables with your bare hands? Yeah, just like in real life. But jokes aside though, first part of the game does a good job at teaching you basic things. And I will say it's much easier to get a good start than RE Remake, even on hardest difficulty, which is nice. This part also has the easiest boss I've ever encountered. The Scorpion Boy. And I'm not even kidding. You can kill this loser with the knife easy, even though there's no achievement for beating the game with the knife only. Of course, this game has the mansion. It's a Resident Evil mansion with death traps, zombies, and unnecessary puzzles to annoy all the workers and residents. Get it? Residents. but it also feels more like a castle than a mansion, which I really like. And here we face almost the most annoying enemies in whole series, the leech dudes. And I said almost, only because they're those swamp things in Code Veronica. God, I hate those fuckers. Anyway, there's a boss which is a giant centipede who kidnaps Rebecca, but it's not even worth mentioning. Before you ask, of course this mansion has a sex dungeon with torture chambers and monkeys. But turns out Rebecca hates those little bastards, so she would rather jump in a pit than be around one of them. This is where we rescue her and show her our Vietnam flashback. Now these characters got much closer, after Rebecca finds out that Billy probably didn't kill 23 people. Yeah, he might be a war criminal still, but it's zombie apocalypse and he's hot, so who cares? There's also the church area in this game where we kill a giant bat. And that fight can be either easy as fuck or a real pain in the ass. It depends on how fast you are with the aiming, because if you are too late, auto-aim is gonna target every stupid baby bat in the room and not the boss. Jesus. To proceed in a story, you'll need to get a green chemical and mix it with the red one. Sounds pretty simple, right? But if you miss the green chemical in a mansion, you'll need to hookshot Rebecca to the second floor of the church basement. Well, if you got there as Billy already, go all the way back to the fucking mansion and search for the green chemical, because first floor doesn't have it, you dumbass! And if this kinda sounds like a softlock, here's this. Before we go to the next area, Billy randomly gets destroyed by a monkey. And if you had something important in his pockets, you know, like every damn good weapon in the game, cause you played only him and ignored Rebecca till this moment like I did, well, you're screwed. This sucks, but it's not as bad as in Code Veronica when I got softlocked on the final boss and rage quit the game. Yeah, it's the second time of me bringing up that game, but just to let you know, I replayed it in a year later and I really enjoyed it. And I think it's the same for almost every Resident Evil game, at least for the older ones. They can be pretty unfriendly for a first playthrough, especially if you played only the latest remakes, like a filthy casual. But yeah, the charm of this type of games is remembering things and muscle memory. You know, for tank controls. Oh, but I got distracted. Here goes the first fight with a tyrant. It's a classic 2x2 meters room and 1 or 2 pattern fight, which even I got through with only a pistol and hitless. On hard, by the way. Yeah, licensed gamer right here. But after we found Billy and watched another flashback, there is another fight with the tyrant. But this time the room is a stupid C-shaped corridor, and if you'll get in a dead end, you get hit 100%. I can't even explain with words how pissed I was during this boss fight, but at the end I got him no hit. And there is a strategy, I assure you. By the way, there is no classic lab in this game, because this whole mansion was a training facility for teaching people not to die in the actual mansion, or something like that. So after that we find the final boss, which is that guy from the beginning, but he turns into a poo-poo demon. You just kill him first time and there's the second phase, which actually sucks, but I got lucky. See, on that fight you'll need to deal some damage before a game allows you to do the mechanic to kill the boss. There are 3 lids that you must open with, yeah, you guessed it, the second character. While AI dummy turns the cranks, you'll need to run around like an idiot and distract the monster. And I was surprised that it wasn't frustrating. But like I said, maybe I got lucky and got it in like 2 tries, I guess. In the end, we get a classic one-liner from Billy.
Hey, Queenie! Feast on
these nuts.
And that's it. I know what you are thinking. How in the hell is this game good? For me, what defines a good Resident Evil game is when you replay it on higher difficulty and it adds to your experience. When it makes you use your knowledge of previous playthroughs, makes you more cautious about things, makes you decide what enemies to skip and which ones to kill, to clear the past for the future backtracking. and it does all those things pretty damn well. Also, I have a bad memory, so every time I play a Resident Evil game, I don't really remember how to solve the puzzles immediately, so every time I find something new. This game has almost the same amount of value like RE Remake, but for some reason people avoid it like a wildfire. Okay, it's a little bit shorter because there is only one scenario, but it's still a solid-ass game. Yes, almost all bosses are big animals, but again, Resident Evil Remake had giant snake and spider bosses as well. It has all the classic weapons plus Molotov cocktails that you make yourself. Puzzles are great, they're simple yet pretty satisfying to solve. Leech dudes are annoying and terrifying as intended, and there is even the toilet moment. You know, when you go to the bathroom in Resident Evil game and some bad shit happens to you. Yeah, that one. Also, I pretty much like the story in this game because it gives us more information about founders of Umbrella. And also, our boy Wesker is in the game too. Only cutscenes though, but still. Stupid sexy Wesker. It tells the story about Dr. Marcus, who got murdered by Wesker and Birkin to get their hands on his research of the progenitor virus. But that sick bastard loved his leeches more than any woman in the world, so they resurrected him and made him much younger for some reason? Yeah, the story is pretty wild in this one. It kinda reminds me of Revelations 2 story, where Alex Wesker reincarnated in Natalia's body. So in conclusion, I must say this. For new players, if you never played any Resident Evil game, I would actually recommend you playing RE Remake first. Because Resident Evil 0 has some questionable mechanics that will make a transition from 0 to Remake a little bit weird. But other than that, it's a really good game, and I don't understand the hate in the community. If you're still wondering whether you wanna play it or not, just play it, just give it a shot. It goes on like crazy sales on Steam pretty often, so why not? And that, my friends, concludes the video. So, a little side note. This is the first English video ever that I made, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Video was made during the war in Ukraine, it's a country where I live, so I had no time to replay it again to record the footage, so I used my stream VODs from Twitch. That's why sometimes you could see the overlays and some other stuff. Even as I was recording it, we got one error warning, so yeah, it is what it is. I don't know how things will turn out here, so this might be my last video, or it might be my first video to start my career as a successful YouTuber. Yeah, right, of course. But if you want to support me in some way, the biggest thing you can do is subscribe to the channel. Because the last thing I need to get partnered on YouTube is 1000 subscribers. Sure, it's a long way, but it's doable and it's up to you guys. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, I really appreciate it. Let me know which games you'd like to see in the next videos, and I really hope I'll see you next time.